Shalom Aleichem, blessed souls. This is Don Zusio Goodman from Kesser Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Dalet Tevis, the 4th day of the Hebrew month of Tevis. Tafshin Ayin, 5,707 years, blazing and grazing into this blessed creation of the Ein Sof, of the infinite Creator. Before we start this next presentation, I would like to proceed with a blessing that we should be merited, we should be blessed and anointed, that our acknowledgement regarding Elokut, godliness, should not be because we have some sort of intellectual compelling, and also when we acknowledge that Elokut is the source of our life, godliness, divinity, that our acknowledgement should be felt within our inner awareness, within our revealed consciousness. And what branches out from this is that we do good things. It should not be for our own self-aggrandizement, but for the sake of sanctifying the Almighty's name and His glory. And also, all of our essence should not be the life of this world, but fusing the life of this world with the higher life, Chaya Chayim, the life of our world, which is rooted in the Atzmuto Umuhuso, the essence and being of the Almighty Creator. That being said, blessed souls, this week the community of Israel, Bnei Yisrael, Kenya Bushlita, we'll be reading from the Torah portion, still in the book of Genesis, chapter 44, verse 18, Perek Mem Dalet, Posek Chai, until chapter 47, verse 27, Perek Mem Zayin, Posek Chov Zayin, and we'll be reading from the Haftorah, from the Novi Yecheskel, the prophet Ezekiel, in chapter 27, verses 15 to 27, Perech Zach Chav Zayin, Posek Tezvav Ad Chav Zayin. I'd like to share with you briefly, blessed souls, teaching from the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rebbe Menachem Nen Schneerson, direct descendant of David HaMelech and Shlomo Melech, King David and King Solomon. So the Rebbe delivered this Hasidic Maimar, and I'm paraphrasing a good portion of it to make it more understandable because it is written in Hebrew and Aramaic. And the following the Rebbe delivered on Shabbat, Parshat VieYeegosh, Tafshin Chafhei, 5725, 5,725 years blazing and grazing into the creation, approximately 1964 or early 1965. The Rebbe started like this: VieYeegosh Elov Yehoodah, and this is the beginning of the Torah portion this week, blessed souls, where Yehoodah, Judah, approached Yosafe, who was the Viceroy of Egypt, and Joseph still had not made known his identity to his 11 brothers, who hadn't seen him for 22 years. Rabbi continued, Uva Haftorah the Parshat VieYeegosh, and in the Haftorah, which we mentioned a little bit before at the beginning of this video, the V'ne'amar kach lecha eitz echad uchtov alav leYehudah v'livnei Yisrael chaverov ulekach eitz echad uchtov alav leYosef eitz Ephraim v'chol beit Yisrael chaverov v'karav otam echad el echad l'chol la'etz echad v'choyu la'achadim yodecha. In the English, now you, son of man, take for yourself one piece of wood and write upon it, for Yehoodah, Judah, and for the children of Israel, his comrades. And take one piece of wood and write upon it, for Yosafe, for Joseph, the wood of Ephraim, and of all the house of Israel, his comrades. V'lechora, and at first glance the Rebbe continued, Hashayuchut shel haftorah la parasha, that the connection between the haftorah and the parsha, he bezeh shahatochem lishneihem hu chibur Yehoodah v'Yosafe. So the Rebbe explained that it's understandable at first glance that there is a connection between the haftarah and the Torah portion that we read this week, blessed souls. Because the beginning of the portion of VieYeegosh has Judah, Yehoodah coming close to discuss the unshackling, the release of Yosef's younger brother and the youngest brother of all the 12 tribes, Binyameen. And in the Haftarah it talked about the reunification of Yehoodah, Yehoodah, who was the head of the tribes, with Levi, the tribe of Levi, the Levites, and the Benjaminites, and also Yosafe and the rest of the tribes who seeded from the kingdom of Yehoodah, Judah, after the son of King Solomon took over as the next king of Judah. So the emphasis here of a bapratiyut, v'hagashi Yehoodah v'Yosafe b'parsha, but the particularities, the emphasis that is placed in the Torah portion, not in the Haftarah, is that Yehoodah, Judah, when he approached Yosafe, Joseph, Mugda she Yosef hoya naila yoter mi Yehoodah. So the emphasis in the Torah portion is that Yosef was at a higher societal standing than Yehoodah. Va'ad she Yosef hoya melech al kol echol, until that Joseph was the king of all of his brothers. That particular time, Kolo Yehoodah, who from the Mashiach, not only the Messiah, but the Messiah's ancestors, Shlomo Melech, King Solomon, and David Melech, King David, excuse me. V'haftarah ne'amar v'avdi David Melech Aleihem. And it says in that prophecy of Ezekiel, Yecheskel, that my servant David shall rule over both of them, the tribes of Yehoodah and all the tribes that were aligned with him, at the time there was a split in the kingdom of Judah, Yehoodah, and those tribes that align themselves with the tribe of Yosef. And Menashe, as Yosef actually, it can be considered as well the tribes of Menashe and Ephraim, because those are the names of the two sons of Yosef that he fathered in Egypt, Mitzrayim. Kamavora b'Torah Or, and is explained in Torah Or, the Yosef hu Yesode, Zer Anpin, the Yehoodah hu Malchute, and it's explained in the classic work of the first Rebbe of Chabad, Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Liadi. Yosef was the manifestation on the human level, reflecting the divine attribute of Yesode foundation. Otherwise, as it is reflected within Zer Anpin, the human manifestation and reflection of the 7 or 6 divine attributes, which we'll hopefully deal with at a future time as they relate to emotional capacities. But Yehoodah hu Malchus, and Yehoodah was a reflection on the human level of the source of all kingship and rulership in the world, as it relates to Israel, and ultimately in all the nations of the world, as Mashiach shall be the king of the whole world, which we hopefully will see speed in our days. But darchi nom and darchi shalom. So in the meantime, blessed, that's in a peaceful and pleasant way, and hopefully, blessed souls, we will continue later on this week. Hamshich, to be continued. Sababa, rejoice, ahav echad, one love, gorel echad, one destiny, v'bore echad, in the one creator, b'ofen nitzchi, v'hamshich, in the one creator.